Today, the underlying question is, why do these white girls hunt down black guys? Now, we're not talking about all white girls. Oh, it's a certain type of white girl. Oh, and they're not hunting down all black guys. It's a certain type of black guy. Title of this live session is Avoid White Girls Who Only Date Black Guys. Yes, sir. Those are the worst ones. I've avoided a great many of them in my lifetime. God has blessed me. Now, it's hard to avoid white girls at a certain level because they're everywhere. But the real question is, what kind of white girls are we talking about when we're talking about the kind of white girls who only date black guys? Oh, that's an interesting creature now, isn't it? Oh, yes, it is. Now, let's first think back. Now, whether you think about it from a religious and biblical standpoint, or you think about it from a scientific standpoint, undoubtedly, humankind was made in pairs, right? One male, one female. Maybe one black guy, one black woman, one white guy, one white woman, right? And then the nations of the earth, the different tribes and different peoples have mixed in. Nothing wrong with that. You heard me? Martin Luther King says, hey, I have a dream one day. Nothing wrong with us mixing in. But then there were those who said, we've mixed in, and you know what? Although I was made in a pair, I'm a white woman and there's a white guy, and my mother's a white woman and my father's a white guy. They look like me. We share characteristics. We've evolved in the same culture. Though we have all this commonality, and human beings love commonality, all that. I'm a niggaholic. And I want me some BBC. Yeah, there's clearly something wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with liking black guys or Latino guys or Asian guys if you're a white girl. Nothing wrong with liking Indian guys. But at the moment in which you tiptoe across that line and you say, everybody, I love black guys only. Yeah, that's a problem. Because clearly, when you choose one particular type of human, which is not the type of human that you are, that's suspicious. But when you take it one step further and you choose in America, in the racial hierarchy, the African Americans at the bottom, economically, educationally, the most incarcerated population, you choose the bottom. Well, we got to wonder about your mindset, sis. So let's talk about it. Number one, we were made in pairs. Yes, some of these white girls say, I reject the natural pair, which is the white male. I reject that. I'm a niggaholic. Now, what do they really mean when they say they only like black guys? First, let's break up some things real quick. When they say black guys, they're not actually talking about black guys. They're actually talking about African Americans in particular, because if it was like a Nigerian guy with Nigerian culture, they'd be like, I'm out of there. I'm out. Get me out of the game. They mean African Americans. And when they say I like black guys and they're referring to African Americans, they don't mean all African Americans. They're not talking about Tiger Woods. No. They're more so talking about 21 Savage. They're more so talking about Lil Yachty, Lil whatever, Lil Dookie, Lil Pookie, right? Whatever African American male fits the stereotypical identity of African American. They don't actually like African Americans. They like the stereotypical African American, shall we say, the rapper. They like the image of the black male that is projected to them on the television. Now, it has to be projected to them because if you're a bona fide white girl, you probably grew up around other white people. So you don't have an accurate sense of what African Americans are, right? They're a minority, 12% of the population. So if you grew up as a middle-class white girl, you have not the foggiest clue of what Lil Dookie is like in his regular life. You just know him through the television of MTV or BET. You know him as the rapper personality. Let's talk about it. We talking some deep shit here. And so here's the thing that's really curious to me. When they say they like black guys, that's code language to they like thug, right? They like thug. They don't like any black guy. Tiger Woods wouldn't do. But first, let's talk about what type of white female finds that she preferences black guys. Well, let me name a couple archetypes of white girls who like black guys. Meaning thug niggas. They're niggaholics. Number one, fat white girls. Yeah, the fat ones. Why is that? Because due to the low standards that some niggas have, and excuse me, I don't mean to degrade people by using this terrible term nigga, but what I am doing is pointing out that some people with low mentalities, they'll accept a fat. Why? Because they have accepted a disgusting stomach to ass ratio, right? They're preferencing the ass so much that they're like, okay, she got enough ass, I can take a little more stomach. But here's the thing, a real man's gonna say, here, look here, if you turn sideways and you look like Santa Claus, if your stomach and your titties look like goddamn two oranges on top of a beach ball, there should be a problem. But some of these niggas out here are so thirsty that as long as the woman has some ass, she can have an unlimited amount of stomach. So these fat white girls will deal with these black guys because the black guys accept their fat bodies. Whereas the white guy would be like, no, get the up out of here with that. Right? So these low standards niggas will say, okay, well, you're fat, but you got the ass. Sure, I'll deal with it. That's number one. The fat white girls, they love the black guys because the black guys accept their fat bodies. Number two, and I'm not talking about all black guys. I'm just talking about some niggas. Number two, daddy issues. I'm sure you've heard this one. This is a real thing. I mean, think about it. If you were a white girl and you grew up and you loved, respected, and admired your father, you wouldn't say, I'm dating only black guys. I would never date anyone whose image reflects that of my own father, right? I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with dating black guys. It's a beautiful thing. But if you limit it to only black guys, we have to think about this because white and black, some people would say those are opposites, right? And historically, in the racial politics of America, white and black definitely have been on opposing ends historically. So if you're a white girl and you want to piss off your daddy, you want to piss off your grandfather, you want to piss off some white guys, oh, go for the black guy, absolutely. Because you go for a Latino guy, that's not going to get them mad enough. You go for an Asian guy, they might not even be tripping. You go for a white guy, they say, yeah, sure, good thing. But you go for a black guy, they're like, God damn it, you done went over there, went across the tracks and got you a darkie, got you a spook. That's going to piss them off. So those are clearly daddy issues when they say, I only want a black guy. It's weird. It's fucking weird. So number two type of white girl that wants only black guys, daddy issues. Numero tres. And I gotta say tres, you did, because your boys mariachi pimping. Break halftime outfits you did. We mariachi pimping. You heard me? Shout out to the people in Mexico City. Shout out to the homies in Mexico. And you know, we don't do belt loops on the custom. You dig? Only nigga you see walking around in a mariachi suit. I went in a restaurant. Mexican woman came up and she was like, can you sing mariachi? I was like, hell nah. She was like, I'm gonna give you a free dessert. I was like, go ahead, baby. I knew you was. Anyways, now the third type of white woman who is obsessed with black guys exclusively is a dysfunctional white woman. Dysfunctional, meaning her head's up. She wants problems in her life. That doesn't mean that all black guys are problems. No, absolutely not. What it does mean is that generally speaking, economically, African Americans are in the lowest economic class on average. So if you're exclusively searching for someone who's in poverty and you're looking at African American males, and the sad reality is that African American males are overpopulated, or I should say overrepresented in the penal system, in the prisons and in the jails. So you're looking at a population that's economically depressed, a population that is largely connected to the penal system, a population that is largely disadvantaged in the society due to white supremacy, racism, what have you, lack of education, whatever you want to call it. You're looking for the who's struggling. Yeah, you're a dysfunctional. Why? Because most females are hypergamous, meaning that they want an upgrade in status. That's why Asian women go for white guys, because they view it as an upgrade in status. And sometimes it's not an upgrade financially, but it's an upgrade socially to them, because generally speaking, Westerners or Europeans or whites are viewed in high regard globally because they've had strong nations for the last 200 or so years, right? But these women who chase black guys exclusively are clearly dysfunctional because they're chasing the man who has the least economic potency, the least ability to provide, the highest likelihood of being with by the police, the highest likelihood of being incarcerated for a disproportionately long sentence. So these women are clearly dysfunctional. Number 4, reasons a white chick would exclusively pursue black guys. Yeah, I know we pissing off people left and right. I know, but we must carry on. They're ghetto. These white hoes are ghetto. Yeah. Meaning that the bitch, for some reason, is a ghetto, low class bitch. And she like, it, I need me a thug nigga because that's the kind of bitch I am. I need me a nigga that he going and rob the bank and I'm driving a getaway car. I need me a nigga that's going to have my ass on Maury because that's the kind of bitch I am. I'm a ghetto. Okay, that's number 4. Moving on to single. Numero cinco. She grew up around black folks. Hell, this is the first legitimate reason. She's a white girl, but she grew up around black folks. Hey, that's fair. You grew up around black folks. You went to your high school. The cool guys were black guys. So that's what you were used to seeing, and that's fair. I actually know a white girl named, yeah, I'm saying her whole government name. She went to my middle school. She was like one of 3 white kids. She dated black guys because that's all that was around her. Why in the fuck her white parents sent her to an all-black school beats the fuck out of me. Maybe they're very liberal. I don't know. But at the end of the day, what we can say for sure is that she has a legitimate reason because she grew up around all black folks. So her definition of cool was defined by her peers, and her peers are black. So that's legit. That's legit. Can't hate on that white girl. Number 6. You guys are probably familiar with this one. Number 6 rhymes with dicks because this hoe is a hoe. This hoe, oops, no, I don't want to disrespect no hoes because hoes get paid. This is a whore. Number 6, the kind of white girl who exclusively pursues the black thug male, the black slave buck, is a whore. Why do I say she's a whore? Because they know black males for the stereotypical BBC, the 12-inch monster. That's what they're pursuing. They look at the black male as a virile, bull, aggressive thug animal that's going to dominate and beat the living daylights out of their stick figure. That's what they want. They want to have that toe down. And they think a thug nigga can do it. They want some thug love. They listen to that Tupac. He said, I don't want to be your man. I want to be your Nigga so we can smoke weed and get high all day. That's what they're looking for. So clearly, these are the promiscuous women. That's number 6. Hey, and I hate to be disrespectful, but I got to keep it real here. Please don't hate me for it. Now, talking about these crazy ass white hoes exhausts me. Now, remember, I'm not talking about white women. I'm talking about black chasers. I'm talking about the white women who exclusively pursue black guys. These are the ones I avoid. I'm not saying I avoid white women in general because I don't. I avoid white women who particularly seek black guys because I know there's something wrong in their heads. Those are the ones. Now, so let me first acknowledge Swiffer Wetjet writes, you describe my ex and my best friend right now. I've learned the hard way and you enlightened me. Hey, this is a hard truth. This is a bitter pill to swallow, but I had to speak up on it. And this might offend black men, might offend black women, might offend white women, might offend everybody. But goddamn it, it's the truth. And the sad thing is that you'll hear some white women say, no, it's just what I like. You know, I just like his brown skin is so beautiful, you know, and I like his, I mean, I didn't mean huge. I mean, I like his curly hair and, you know, I like, he's just so strong and he just like, he so I mean, I just like, I like his full lips and, you know, no, bitch, you're lying. You are one of those 6 bitches that I just described. Now, if you just happen to date black guys, it's all good. But I remember I had this ex-girlfriend. I'm not going to name her name and blow her up right now. But I remember she was telling me about the last 2 guys she's dated. And I was like, whoa, how does it happen that these 2 guys happen to be black and I happen to be black? That's 3 niggas in a row. That's a lot of niggas in a row when you consider the fact that black people are only 12% of the population. So out of every 10 human beings, only 1 of them is black. So you have to really go searching for that. It's not coincidental no matter what they'll say. And most of the things that come out of a woman's mouth are not reflections of what's really in her head, nor are they reflections of what is true. Sometimes her own intentions are mysterious to her. She doesn't even know what's going on in her own goddamn head, which is why it perplexes me that some guys listen to female dating coaches. It's crazy.
Yeah, I got some stuff to add as far as dealing with black girls, white girls, the differences, because there are differences.
Okay.
You do have some white girls that just like the black guys, the Pookies and Ray Rays of the world, really about nothing. But then you do got some that want an educated black dude. And I always believe in showing, when we talk here, we want to talk real and show receipts. I'll show receipts because I'm a real, excuse my language. But I want to tell you a little, so people can see a little story, whatever. This was my last white girl, right?
Okay, there we go. Oh, that's
my
a
last white
good
girl,
one.
right? You know,
Okay.
she good people, treating me good.
Right.
And with these white girls, guys, when y'all meet the right one, they'll do everything with you. I like playing Connect Four. And what is she doing with me? Playing Connect Four. And then the thing about white girls, they worry about your health. They eat right. She gives me a birthday cake, a little one, because she's, you know what, honey, I don't want you to gain a lot of weight, and we don't need to eat all of that. And I'm like, you're right, and everything like that. They could be shy. It's like a picture book. Like,
right.
What I'm saying is, guys, there are differences. There are. I dated majority black women in my life, and I dated a few white girls. But let me tell you, the white girls that I dated, the proper ones, they will treat you like nothing else. They will come to your house, clean your house. I was sick. One time I was sick. Then she come over. You okay? You okay? Let me check your temperature. I'm like, God damn, I like this. She told me like a baby like this. And then she go clean the kitchen for me. And then I'm looking down. What are you doing? She's making me happy. So just what I'm saying, guys, is try to date all different type of races. You know what I mean? There are good black women out there too. Don't get me wrong. There are beautiful sisters out there. They are. So we're not bashing we're not just saying white girl, but we're giving you a perspective, a different perspective. You know what I mean? So I just want to come on here and holler at you, Marquette, and show these guys this is what you're saying is legit. You know what I mean?
With the evidence on deck. I appreciate it.
Exactly, because we talk real here. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
it's the way of the assassin.
Take that away, brother. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop on it. So I think that cash rules. Wu-Tang told y'all, cream, cash rules everything around me. So at the end of the day, a black man that makes 100,000 and a white man that makes 20 or 30,000, they're in two different categories. And it's very obvious. Like Tiger Woods gets treated like a powerful white man, right? Money talks in any society. So even if you have a woman who comes from a family where they would shun her for dating black guys, dating a rich black man is dating different than dating a black man. So that's an important thing to understand, is that money wipes away all problems and challenges. Similar to, if I told a chick's parents that I was a rapper, she'd be like, you're an idiot, right? She wouldn't want her dating me. But if I was a rich rapper, then they wouldn't mind. They'd be okay with it. They might even around and go get my out. What is this nigga talking about that he making millions of dollars? So anytime you put money in the mix, money is going to make things much better. So undoubtedly, racial politics will not trump financials. Never will it do that. Cash rules. Shit, I've done deals with people that I knew for sure didn't like black people, but they picture like them dead green guys. They said, this got the paperbacks. He's good money.
That's the universal language right there, brother.
Ain't it? Money can do wonders. Juan Lopez writes, hey, Marquette, thanks for the game and wisdom, brother. Can you talk about females Dr. feeling you, and how do you go about them? Woo! Don't you ever let up get in your head. Are you crazy? Juan, listen here, Pimp Juice. If a woman's trying to Dr. Phil you, you need to be hyper suspicious of her. And you can tell she's trying to Dr. Phil you when her questions become very targeted. Because generally speaking, the female's mind has so many different thoughts going on all at once. It's like a web browser with many tabs open at the same time. If they're speaking in a way that shows they're having linear thought and they're just digging in, trying to chip away, don't give them anything. Treat those like they're the police and you're under questioning for a murder that you didn't commit, right? Tell them, I don't know. You don't want to let them inside of your mind, because here's your number one tool. It's in here. The moment you surrender your thoughts, you have no power, because then she can become the puppeteer and you're the puppet. You cannot allow that dynamic to occur. So keep your answers brief. It's good that she's talking. It's good that she's asking you questions and she's interested, but keep your answers brief and vague. That will keep her at bay. Brief and vague. That's my advice for you. Don't lie, because when you lie, you get yourself into trouble. It's always better to choose silence or to run away from the question rather than lie, because then you have to remember all your lies. And I can assure you that's a difficult task. Darnell, did you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, another way they'll try to Dr. Phil you on the low is anytime they're asking for your Facebook info, they're asking for it just to dig in to see what they can find. They're trying to find dirt. That's the only reason they want your Facebook info. If they're interested in you, they're going to want your Facebook info. I made a mistake to get my Facebook info. I used to be married, and I still got an old picture of my ex-wife from years and years ago, and she pulled it up and found it. I didn't even know it was on there because she's diggy. And when women dig, they're going to try to find that treasure of knowledge off of you. So just go ahead and realize, once you get your Facebook info, they're going to look regardless of what they say. It's not, oh, I just want to see your family and all that. No, they want to see all about you. So be mindful of that.
That's great advice that Darnell shares, because women are consummate researchers. They're terribly curious animals. CIA, FBI, ATF, all rolled into one, looking for clues with flashlights in the daylight. They will have you under a microscope trying to discover everything that you have not told them. So always keep your cards close to your chest and give up as little information as possible. And know that anything that's publicly available, they will take a look at. So you have to make sure that you are being thoughtful in how you're marketing and branding yourself, not only for the business world, but also in your personal life and your romantic relationships. This is factual. Prolific Pops writes, this video is oddly on time. I got more white women in the area I work in that be giving me some seductive looks. Appreciate the game, brother. Prolific, I appreciate you. Thank you for showing the love. And yeah, there's, as Darnell said, there's a lot of high quality white women, just as there are high quality Black women, Latinas, Asians. Hell, I love them all. But you do want to be conscious of the white women who particularly target Black men, because 9 out of 9, they're dirtbags. 9 out of 9. Just got to keep it real with you. Now, the white women who are willing to date a Black man, but they don't preference them, that's called a normal woman. Just like I'm a normal man. I like women who have breasts and vagina. Turns out every race has one. So there's no need for me to be discriminating against any kind, especially my own kind. That's strange. When you find a woman that has self-hatred, be concerned. So yeah, man, be careful when you're dealing with women at your job. So there's no doubt about that being a dangerous situation. Now, Darnell, let's see if we can hop on some more of these questions, because I know these folks probably have some meaningful questions, and you got a lot of game. See what you can share with these young men. The Life Pill writes, if she ages faster than you, do you leave her? What depends on what's important to you. Me personally, I think that a younger woman is ideal because I still want to have children. And so the younger the woman is, the more healthy the children are likely to be. So it depends on what your priorities are. And it also depends on if you have a stable. If you got 3 women, then maybe it doesn't matter. If you only got 1, maybe it does. So you have to ask yourself what's important to you. What do you think, Darnell?
Yeah, and piggyback on what you're saying, as far as if she aged faster than you, do you leave her? If you're happy with her and she's making you happy and she's bringing value to your life, that's what's important. Because you can have a younger woman that's not making you happy. So all because she's younger doesn't necessarily make her better. There's pros and cons to having a younger woman and an older woman. Some older women are more established than the younger woman. You ain't got a crib, they got a crib. There's different levels to it. So it just all depends on what makes you happy. Whatever choice you make is fine, as long as your happiness is real. So just take that with you, brother.
And I'm going to go ahead real quick, and we're going to merge in M. Garvey. Saint, how are you?
I'm doing good. How's everybody doing?
Feeling fantastic. It's been a little while since I seen you.
Yeah, I've been busy, Quet, man. I've been so busy, and there's been a lot of shit happening, man. I started running a lot more, right? Because I was like, hell yeah. I was just really liking running. I was trail running a lot, and I decided to play soccer because usually I play soccer. I'll go with my cousin, but he hurt his ankle, so we didn't play for a few months because I usually just go with him. And then he got better, so we finally went. And literally, man, nigga, I ran, I warmed up, did my stretches and everything, and maybe 15 minutes into the game, man, like I hurt my ankle pretty bad. So yeah.
I'm glad you are back and in good spirits, and we're happy that you're on here with us. And today we're talking about these white chicks who only like black guys. If you have any insights, feel free to hop in. I'm gonna read this super chat from Sal MD. Writes, Quet, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not all about the BBC with why white girls only are attracted to the African American, but their swagger, the fact that they usually aren't judged, always fun to be around, and it's rebellious. Sal, you actually bring up some very meaningful points in that. I agree. Definitely the African American has swagger and certainly has been a cultural icon in America since the 1960s. So we're creeping up on 60 years that the African American male has largely been the definition of cool. So there is a swagger. There's no doubt about that. You say that the white woman is not judged. We're black men judge just like white men, but we don't judge them for the weight because we take a little bit more ass. Oh, definitely. And we know if you eat a little bit more, you're going to have a little more ass and maybe a little more stomach. So in that sense, no, they're not judged at the same level. But you also have to think, judging can be a representation of your standards. And the white male in America has achieved well. And we would be wise to learn and raise our standards as well. And when you have standards, you tend to judge more. So that is a good lesson. Even the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who wrote a book called Message to the Black Man, said, the white man is wise. You may learn from him. So having standards is a beautiful thing. And sometimes that comes with some judgment. But I always tell the saints, you would be wise not to speak judgment out of your mouth because judgment is not seductive language. No one wants to be looked down upon. Further, the saint writes, and they're fun to be around and it's rebellious. You're damn right it is fun to be around African Americans because you never know what a nigga's gonna do. And number two, yes, it is a matter of being rebellious because certainly her white father did not want her to be with a nigga named Tyrone, right? You don't want to go to the family reunion and the whole picture's white and there's this one nigga looking like a black in the picture. So that surely is rebellious. There's no doubt about that. Appreciate you coming through in a strong way with the super chat. Did you just have thoughts on that? Speak up. Talk to me.
Listen, I completely agree with what you're saying right now, but I wanted to backtrack a little bit because earlier you read that super chat about the dude asking what to do if a woman's Dr. Feeling you. Mm-hmm. And I agree with all the stuff that you said. But one thing I wanted to add is that if she's Dr. Feeling you, man, you need to take it one step further. Because if you realize that she's Dr. Feeling, you got the drop on her. You hear me? So at this point, not only you can be vague and only give her the information that you want to give her, but you know that she really wants you. So if she's trying to get in your head, man, she needs it. She needs it. So at this point, you could turn her to a little fiend, man, and you could have fun with her. So trust me, if she's Dr. Feeling you, you are not in a bad position if you know how to react, okay? You're in a good position.
Agreed. She's interested, right? Highly interested. John Doe, thank you for the super chat, writes, just asked my white girl, would she date a white man? And she said, no. I asked why. And she said, because it's pink down there. What should I do? Assuming you're not a white guy, you don't have to worry about that. Now, do you? And this is curious because I've actually met one white young lady who she's a physician currently. And so this physician, I didn't ask her this question, but she had told me, I don't deal with these folks because it's not visually appealing down there. Now, her being a doctor, she actually has to inspect these nether parts. Now, I think that's a little strange. Personally, I don't look at a lot of white penises personally. But if you're a white woman, you should not be disgusted with a white man's penis, theoretically. I think that's largely an excuse for something underlying, something deeper. Sometimes people will give a surface level answer just to give you a response. and just to get you on to the next thing, but it's not actually the truth. So you have to really dig in. And one of the techniques I teach is that when someone says something, especially a woman, you just repeat what they said in uptone. So for example, if you said, hey, would you ever date a white guy? And she says, nah, their dicks are pink. Then you just repeat their pink, as in like, what the fuck, bitch? Mm-hmm. And then you'll elaborate. Here's the thing about women. They love talking, and the more you can get her to talk, the closer you will get to the truth. And generally speaking, you know, if a woman is going to throw her own father under the bus with that statement, her own brother, her own kinsman, well, you got to be suspicious of that, because it indicates some peculiar form of self-hatred, and you are going to want to know where that comes from. So what should you do? Well, this doesn't apply to you, so you really don't have to worry about it, but you should be mindful of it. And in actual fact, it's only to your advantage. So you know what? Be thankful. Do you gentlemen have any thoughts on that?
You gave him some good insight.
Cool.
I agree again, but I definitely worry about that though. And it's something that you said, and I do it as well. Like when a woman says something and it just like, what are you talking about? And a lot of times when I try to challenge them on the stuff that they say, that's when they try to, sometimes they do elaborate, but sometimes I feel like they realize how uneducated whatever they said sounded, and they try their best to get away from it. Oh, I don't know. Or they'll try to walk away. So that's one thing I've noticed personally. But yeah.
I agree. And let's go ahead and pop up a few more. Neck of the Woods writes, too many Black men get too excited when they find out that they only or mostly date Black men. It's usually dusty Black men that are like this. Saints, you have anything to say on that one?
Some Black dudes, the fact that she's white, they all into it. She could be a fat, looking like a pink elephant. They'll still want them because of the skin color. You know, so there's some guys that are like that. So I agree with that. But I think, guys, y'all should be trying to get some quality white girls. You know what I mean? Don't just get white girls that just date Black guys. Get white girls that date white guys and convert them to date you. They don't, just be yourself and be confident. They're not scary. I remember, I think when I first got on the Patreon, me and Marquette, I talked to you a little bit about how you deal with the white girls and everything like that. And you were spitting game to me and everything. Guys, just go up there and don't just go get white girls on that just like Black guys. Go get your Ambers. Go get your Jills. Go get your Samanthas. Go get your Jessicas. Go get your Sams. You know, I mean, go get them. You know what I mean? You're unique. So you can do it.
I like what you're mentioning, because you kind of allude to the fact that the gentlemen who like white girls who only date Black guys, the reason that gets them excited is because it's easy. Now they're like, oh, you like Black guys. They feel like they have an advantage in being successful with that particular woman. And too often are we lured by that which appears to be easy. The easy road, if it's easy for you, was probably easy for many men. So many men have probably walked that road into that woman's vagina, which is probably why it's so cavernous that she required the BBC, because everyone's been in there. But the fact is that you have a woman who only wants Black guys and you get excited about that, you're a goofball. And so take it from me, that should probably scare you and run you away, because that's exactly what it does when I hear a chick say she only dates Black guys. I'm like, oh, this bitch is trash. This bitch is garbage. Because if you look at the woman who says that, she must be looking at you through a stereotype. If she only dates Black guys, she must have a sense of what Black guys are, right? And the question is, what are Black guys in her mind that she thinks we're all the same?